Welcome to the Instructor's Compass. This is Prospero Hintapanan Gonzaga Jr., RN LPT, your instructor on Focus. A pleasant day, everyone. Welcome to today's topic, which is persuasive communication. The first glance at this phrase gives us an impression that this is a negative connotation. Well, persuasion is often viewed as an added pressure to free will. However, you will be amazed that not all persuasiveness is negative. Persuasive communication is one of those persuasions that are not aligned with the negativities. Persuasion is a language, or in a language, if used correctly, has something to do with implementing something that is right to an empirical standards that has evidences of being wrong. The problem, if we will not persuade facts to be reconsidered, is that the empirical wrong will always stay in place and we will be a part of this wrong. Our conscience will always remind us that we failed to fight for what is right. Persuasive communication is defined as communication with technical and formal persuasion for emphasis of truths and facts. The cornerstone of persuasive communication is to defy the fact that all obedience is totally correct. Remember, obedience to what is wrong is still considered wrong, and disobedience to what is right is still considered wrong. That is why blind obedience is also a blind way of committing simple errors that could have been corrected if we had just persuasively done so. Persuasion in communication is more of giving salience, importance, weight, and even relevance to the point or communication that is being given. To the point of the receiver of this communication, there should be technical and scientific analysis why a person is persuasive in his or her approach. There must be a valid reason. So this mindset can help managers and head of societies to consider listening rather than thinking of going towards insubordination. To the point of the sender of this communication, there are guidelines and protocols to be followed as not to end up in hot water for possible insubordination. Remember, when guidelines or rules are followed, it is impossible that there will be conflicts. On a personal note, persuasion is not always a human tendency, and persuasion will always have human output and human needs in three avenues. Number one, if you are right and nobody listens, persuade. Number two, if you are right and you are outranked, persuade. Number three, if you are introducing a better alternative and the system is already hard-nosed on the present setup, persuade. In these three cases, persuasion is the only way to deal with a possible effective connection. So, dear learners and viewers, do not be afraid to persuade when you are right. Be more afraid of what can happen when you know what is right and you did not take extra vigilant effort to make things right. Lastly, persuasive communication in terms of written and oral communication is not a new science or technique. Believe it or not, it was already existing in biblical regime. If you are familiar with one of the most loved Bible gems found in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not in thy own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path." If you notice here, the promise is He will direct your path, but it is located at the end of the verse. Now, before God will direct our path, God has three persuasive requirements for you to follow, for if you will not, God will not direct your path. The requirements are, number one, trust in the Lord with all your heart. If we will not do so, the deal is over. Number two, lean not in your own understanding. If you want all the credit and you are selfish and God is nowhere to be found in your accomplishment, the deal is off. Number three, in all your ways acknowledge Him. If you are only calling to God in times of needs, but in abundance, you want people to see and congratulate you more, the deal is off. If we can already follow the persuasive requirements of God, the three that we have mentioned earlier, then He will surely direct our path. That is the promise. May you have found the real meaning of persuasiveness and persuasive communication in the short sharing that we have for this moment. God bless.